YouTube family, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Today we're going to package up some rice and we're going to package up some beans, and let me show you the products that I'm using. I'm going to use my straight iron, the gallon size Mylar bag, and the quart size. 50cc oxygen absorbers. I am going to use the labels this time, and I'm going to use the 300 oxygen absorbers. Okay, for you guys only, I'm going to open up one of my 5-gallon buckets of rice. This is going to be a pretty long video, because I think it's very important that you know each step, and there's only so much editing I can do. You know, I don't want to cut out important steps. So here is a 5-gallon bucket of rice. We have another 5-gallon bucket of rice right here that we did last year. I'm going to open this rice if I can. Leon's outside, he's busy. Okay, here is the oxygen absorber. I put 3,000 cc's in this rice. Since I opened it up, I'm going to go ahead and put 2,000 cc's in here, just to be sure, okay? So here's one, and here's two. You immediately close your drawer. I get so nervous when I do this. Keep them in your drawer. Put the lid back on. The reason I showed you our two 5-gallon buckets that we have stored is because that is one way that you can store your rice. This rice that we have in these two 5-gallon buckets have not been refrigerated. Okay, they were bought, they were put in the buckets with 3,000 cc's. Okay, and this cc, I had 3,000 cc's in there, so half of this bag is still soft and half of it is hard, which means 3,000 cc's in a 5-gallon bucket of rice works. Or this would completely be hard. Okay, evidently the other 2,000 sucked up the oxygen. But I went ahead and put a couple more in there just in case. That was the white long grain rice. The reason we have it stored in the 5-gallon buckets is because that is our backup. That is going to stay in there. It's not going to be opened until we need it in the future. Today, the rice that I'm going to be storing up, inflation is real, you guys. Product prices are going up, okay? Rice is going to go up as well. So get your rice while it's cheap, stock up on it, and do not feel guilty. This rice is what's going to go in a 5-gallon bucket as well, but it's going to be accessible to us as we need it throughout the year, okay? I've got my hot iron on, starting to heat up. Everyone stores product differently. This is how we do it at Raffles Refuge. You can do it in a ball jar if you'd like, but I don't want any light getting to my product. I just want to make sure that it's going to be in a dark, cool place. I'm just going to put my bag right here in this pot to help me out, and then I'm just going to start filling it with the rice. This white long grain rice I had in the freezer. I bought it at a store that I went to. I couldn't find the video, but I did put it in the freezer because I didn't want to deal with it at the time. So it's been in the freezer for a while. I took it out. I set it on the counter in these bowls with a tea cloth over it for a couple of days. Okay? You want to make sure your product, when you take it out of the icebox or the freezer, is completely dry before you package it. It's very, very important because you do not want to open up your Mylar bags and find your product is spoiled. Okay? Okay, so here is my bag. I'm going to put one 300 cc oxygen absorber in there. I'm going to close my cc's back up. Okay, these bags right here do not have the zipper, which is fine. You can either write on the bag what I usually do, but this time, since I have a bunch of these labels, I'm going to put the date on the bag. Rice has a shelf life of 20 plus years, so store you up some rice. I'm going to store up some rice in the quart size with 50 cc's. I have a jar right here. As soon as you open up your cc's, you're going to put them in the jar. Let me grab another jar. You want to seal them up, you guys, okay? As soon as they hit the air, they're going to start absorbing oxygen. So you want to get them sealed up. You can do this, you guys. Okay, now if you want to store your rice in a container, like a plastic container or something like that, you can do that if you don't want to do the Mylar bags. So I'm going to start filling up these bags. I'm going to stick a 50 cc in there. It's a zipper seal, so I'm going to get as much oxygen as I can out. Like that. Even though this is zipper sealed, I go ahead and I hot iron it below the zipper. And so I leave room. There's my mom texting me. So I leave room below the zipper. Okay, it is that simple, you guys. I'm going to label it and get the rest of my rice packaged. So I was able to get 2 gallon size and 5 quart size. So, I'm going to write rice on it. I'm just going to put the date. This is the bucket that we're going to go into when we need rice on a month-to-month basis. Okay, so I put on the container rice in bags. Now we're going to package some beans. There are several ways to package beans. I am not putting my beans in the freezer. You can store them in a 5-gallon bucket. You can dump them all in a bucket out of the bag, put oxygen absorbers. You can package them individually. You can jar them up. I'm going to store my red beans in a 5-gallon bucket, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. This 5-gallon bucket is going to be put in our second pantry, and this is just beans for the future in case we need them. This is not our everyday pile. So I'm going to take them all out of the bag, and I'm going to dump them in these bowls, make sure they're okay, and then I'm going to put them in a 5-gallon bucket. Okay, so let me get them dumped out. my beans are small, some of them are large, some of them are dark, and some of them are not. It doesn't really matter to me, you guys. To me, a red bean is a red bean, okay? In a emergency situation, you're not going to worry about the size, the color. You're just going to want to get you some beans cooked. So I'm just kind of going over them and making sure they're okay. They all look fine to me. So I'm just going to continue. Here's my 5-gallon bucket of beans. I'm going to put 3,000 cc's. Actually, I think 2 will do. I'm going to put 2,000 cc's oxygen absorber in the beans. I should have had Leon do this before, and I didn't think about it. He's doing it quickly. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to do the black bean. I'm just going to quickly go over the black bean and make sure that they look good. Ain't got nothing crawling in them. When you put these in a 5-gallon bucket and you put your oxygen absorbers in there, nothing can grow without oxygen, or nothing can hatch rather. Okay, so let me get these beans in there. Bucket of black beans, and of course it did not go all the way to the top, but I'm very satisfied with this. So I'm going to put my 2,000 cc oxygen absorbers in there. Leon's going to put the top on it. I already have it labeled, and he's going to put it in the second pantry. Okay, so there's our beans. Alright, so we have to get some more pinto beans, black-eyed beans, and white beans. Next time we go bean shopping, which is going to be soon, not tomorrow, it's supposed to storm, we're going to go to Meridian, I think, Wednesday. The next batch of beans that we buy, we're going to package up in Mylar bags, and we're going to put that in a 5-gallon bucket, and that's going to be our go-to beans. We're going to do a 5-gallon bucket of pinto beans, a 5-gallon bucket of another type of bean, I'm not quite sure. We just want to make sure we have some beans stored up. Beans have a shelf life of 20 plus years, you guys. These beans were like gold to us. If anybody's ever in need, our family, the elder, these beans can be opened up and distributed it into Ziploc bags accordingly. Okay? We hope nothing ever happens, but just in case, we want to be prepared. It's such a beautiful day, and I still have plenty of daylight left to get out here and do some things. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope I encourage you to get some beans, and I hope I gave you a few tips and some ideas of how you can store them up for long-term storage. We love you guys, and we appreciate all of you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We'll see you next time on the next video. Bye, guys.